platform called Duda. This is what our platform looks like, and this is what it can do for your agency. Sure, you can build websites faster than you can.
It is that time of day. I don't know what's up with that, but we're gonna keep rolling. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling today? Let's get right into it. Let's jump right into it. Today, DJI announced the Osmo Pocket 2. And if you have been a user of the Osmo Pocket 1, then you know that that little bitty camera is the truth. It is the truth. So today we're gonna talk about changes that was, the changes with part 2. Is it worth getting? Should you jump on it? Should you get it or not? Real simple, real easy, real quick. All right. So we'll give it a second. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Everybody in the chat room. First thing we're gonna do is we're going to roll this intro. Well, screw that intro, man. Let's get right into it. Anyway, if this is your first time on this channel, my name is Ty Turner. I am Black by popular demand, and this channel is about helping you make good business decisions. It's about the business side of content creation. Today, we're talking about the DJI Osmo Pocket. We're just gonna give a quick rundown of features, what it got, what it can do, what it can't do, and if it's worth upgrading. I am a big user of the DJI Osmo Pocket. I've always said since it came out, it was a camera that punched well above its weight class. And it is a really good camera for professional use. If you want to go and grab some quick, slick B-roll, it can really get the job done. And this update, I just want to be upfront, is a really Canon-ish update. Those who are familiar with this industry understand what I mean when I say it's a real Canon-ish update. It's a really Canon-ish update. I'll say that. There isn't much new. However, we'll still go over specs because there's a few things I want to do as far as compare it to what the last one was. And let's start off just off the bat. It's still 4K 60. You still get the same, I want to say, image quality, or let's start with the same gimbal features. You still get the same smooth built-in gimbal as you've been getting. The difference is that the sensor is a little bit larger, just a little bit larger, not a whole lot larger, and that's really about it. They added a few small things like microphones all the way around, but I really felt like they didn't do a lot of what a lot of people wanted with this device, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I feel like they didn't listen. They just came out with a moderate update. They didn't listen. They didn't listen. Not at all. We'll get into that because there's some things they should have done, in my opinion, that would have made this a must-have. But if you have the first one, I'm gonna tell you just in the beginning, I really don't suggest upgrading to this one. You're not losing much. Okay. Stabilization is 3-axis. There are some changes as far as field of view. That's important because a lot of people complained about field of view, and there are some things that are important um, when it comes to audio. They have answered a few things and not answered some others. So there's some things that you really need to keep in mind when you're comparing this to the first one. So let me just quickly start off and say that um make sure you guys can see me good. Make sure we get good stream. Let me start off by saying that the Osmo, the first one is 4K 60. This one provides 4K 60. The field, some of the biggest complaints were audio issues, were field of view. They have somewhat answered those issues, but not in a way where um, we really wanted them to. So let me make sure that you guys we're good to go. Make sure you guys can see me good. Let me double check it on my end. Hit the refresh button and see if I can get it to come up a little clearer. I got to go through advertisement first, but we'll do that for 2 seconds, and then we'll get right into some of the specs, because it's looking like for some reason the bandwidth is a little low. Hopefully you guys can see me a little better now. It says that my connection is pretty decent on my end. Make sure you hit that refresh button, because I know sometimes it will act really funny. But let me go let me just go into specs real quick while I got you guys waiting, because I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long, because we got a whole separate video after this. But let me just go into some of the specs of the new Pocket, the Osmo Pocket 2. So like I said, there's a change in the sensor size, which is the biggest, I think is the biggest change. You're going with 1 1/7 inch, and it's a little bit larger. It's about 30% larger than the previous sensor, which should help it with image quality and low light capability. But it's not. I was hoping to get a 1 inch sensor, which we did not get. I was hoping to get a 1 inch sensor. We did not get a 1 inch sensor. I'm not crazy about that, but it is what it is. Um, that's something that, in my opinion, would have been a game changer. They could have took the 1 inch sensor that they put on the that they put in the Mavic Pro 2, and they could have popped it on this bad boy. So that's one thing that you're getting bigger. So you're getting, they're not really promising more dynamic range. They're just saying more dynamic detail, whatever that means. And that's really about it. That, and they added multiple cameras, I mean multiple mics, so that you can get better audio, and they have some neat accessories. But I feel like there were some things that they did not address with this update that I feel like they should have addressed, right? So one of them for sure should have been a built-in microphone port. They did not add a built-in microphone port. You still have to buy an adapter. And actually, they haven't even talked about an adapter for the microphone port. I have not seen one on the website. However, a they do offer a wireless lav system that you can purchase extra. So yeah, I'm just not crazy about that. That's not a good look. They did add an adapter, which you can, or an adapter, so you can get the tripod mount. But the two main things they should have addressed is a built-in audio port and Wi-Fi, which they did not. So you still have to connect it with you got to connect your camera up to it, or not your camera, but your cell phone up to it to see it. And those are two things that if they would have addressed, I would have purchased the new one. Built-in Wi-Fi, built-in camera, a way for me to do audio input. It would have been a shoe-in, a no-brainer upgrade. But the changes that they've made just have not been the greatest, in my opinion. Little things like fast wake, HDR video, been there. It's not enough for me, in my opinion. They've added some, faster slow motion, 8 times slow motion in 1080p. But that's about it. more accessories and software updates. So I'm just not crazy about it. I personally don't have a reason to go out and upgrade. I'm perfectly happy with the Osmo that I have. I would say if you want one right now is probably the time to buy a good used one, because people are going to jump on a new one. You can get a wide angle lens adapter, a macro lens adapter, and all kind of stuff. Um, you know, to overcompensate or to fix some of the errors and issues with it. I like that it has a microphone adapter, which I have for the current Osmo, and I can plug up, any lav system I want. I usually use it with um, the smaller Rode wireless Goes, and it works just fine. Yes, there is another live feed in 20 minutes where we're going to go into a different subject. I wanted to kind of do it in two separate videos so that you guys can, if you want to watch the video again, you don't got to sit through and 30 to 45 minutes to hear about the Osmo. We can touch on the Osmo and then go to the next video. So drone question in general, Lloyd asks, just getting used to taking pictures and started to shoot video. At what point should I recommend buying and learning it and using a drone? So drone usage, in my opinion, is really only needed whenever you have a client and you want to do more establishing shots. You want to shoot more establishing shots. I don't want to say it's a fad, but it's kind of drone images are great. Like drone images are absolutely beautiful. It's just a different perspective that we have not been able to see as much as on the ground. So it's something you can definitely keep in your tool bag. If you're not like specifically specializing in drone work, I wouldn't get anything really crazy, anything over like the Mavic Air, maybe the Mavic 2 at the most, maybe a Phantom, but I wouldn't really do much more than that because it's just not. It won't make a difference past that unless you're really specializing in high end, drone work. I just wouldn't. It's not, the investment doesn't make sense. So again, let me go over the specs because we can get ready to wrap it up for the Osmo video before we go into the next video. Let me just kind of go over the specs really quick. I want to make sure that we talk about what has changed. Let me talk about general specs, and then let me talk about what has changed, because a lot has not changed. You still got 100 megabytes per second bit rate, so it's not like you're getting a whole lot of data to work with. You still got 4K 60, no 4K 120, just 4K 60. You do have a wider field of view compared to the older one, and I want to get the exact numbers on the field of view because that's something that's real important for a lot of vloggers. They were having issues with not having a wide enough field of view compared to the other one. And you get a lens that's a little bit lower f-stop. So you're going from f 2.0 to f 1.8. F2 to f 1.8, which will help you a little bit in low light. Your field of view on the original Pocket was 80 degrees. This one's 93 degrees, so it's a little bit wider, a little bit better autofocus. 4K should be a little bit better because the sensor size is about 60% larger, and you're going to see a difference in image quality. But as far as image stabilization, software features, they're pretty much the same. Built-in microphones all the way around to get a little bit better audio. Even though, to be honest with you, the audio on the original Osmo was pretty good. I never had a complaint with it, unless I wanted to connect the microphone to it. As far as environmental audio, I never had an issue with it. Never had an issue with it at all. I thought it was pretty dope, actually. So something that you may want to keep in mind. I connected a mic to mine. I would get the little Rode, either wireless Go system or the little bitty Rode shotgun mic, and it would be just fine. I'd vlog with it all the time. So I'm interested in seeing comparison videos between the old Osmo and the new Osmo side by side. That will help me make a determination. It's $350. So the price is not that bad. You get 4K 60 and UHD, not true 4K. You get UHD. So it's important that you know that up to 60 frames a second. You get 64 megapixel images. So I think the older version only had like 16 megapixel images. Didn't really bother me. I really wasn't trying to be a photographer with my Osmo Pocket. I really was just trying to take it on vacation and I had a chance to take it to Mexico and shoot some great footage, and do some things with it. So I had no issues with the original Osmo. I'm just not probably going to run out and buy this one unless I see some comparison videos that talks about footage that blows the other one away. It's important, like that's important to me. Other than that, if you don't have an Osmo, if you've been thinking about picking up an Osmo, yeah, I'd say go for it. But as of now, if you have a Osmo, I don't know if I would upgrade. Just being honest with you. I just don't know if I do it. I just haven't seen enough yet. And on paper, it's not looking like a significant upgrade where I would run out and go make that upgrade. I just wouldn't do it. So with that being said, I just wanted to really go over the features and kind of talk about some things that have changed with the Osmo Pocket 2. Not a whole lot. My rule is every 3 changes, I usually upgrade. So when it comes to things like GoPros, my last GoPro was the GoPro 6, and then I went with the GoPro 9. I got 3, 6, and 9. So I usually wait at least 3 versions before I upgrade. That's just me. I do it with iPhones, I do it with everything. So it's something you may want to put in your back pocket and keep in consideration as you think about whether or not this upgrade is for you or not. It may not be. I just want to shoot it straight with you. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap on the Osmo video. Listen, I'm gonna post a link to the next live that starts at 1:30 my time, so it's in about 14 minutes. In that video, we're gonna talk about a few different things, mostly on the business side. So if you came here looking for great business intro today, we're talking about upselling with script writing and how you can make more per shoot by doing this. So make sure you tune in for that. And that starts in about 15 minutes. I just posted the link. I want to make sure you guys got that link before I end this video. And if you look at the Osmo, it's just a whole bunch of extra gadgets and crap they got to make it longer and stuff that should have been built into it, if you ask for my opinion. These are things that should have been built into the Osmo. Wi-Fi, built-in mic support, are things that should have been built into the Osmo. They should at least go back and still make the bigger version of the Osmo. That one should have at least a 1-inch sensor because the older one didn't. And they should that one should be a full-fledged version with the mic built-in mic adapter and things like that, so you can almost use it professionally because it's a great tool. It's just the pocket version is missing 1 or 2 more things. Even as a vlogger, and I see why they came out with the little mic, and that's cool, but what if the quality's bad on that mic? Are you stuck with that mic? Who knows? Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and wrap. I will see you